welcome to Leeds Hacks TV. I'm Olivia Newby. Today's headlines: Leeds firms outpace rivals, and National Gardening Week gets underway. But first, schools right across Yorkshire are facing a growing teacher recruitment crisis, with more than half of heads reporting vacancies in English, Maths and Science. Research by an organisation representing head teachers found that it is becoming more difficult to recruit, according to 65% of secondary school heads. In Yorkshire, 52% of reported vacancies in core subjects, higher than 5 other UK regions. The association said the situation will worsen due to falling numbers of graduates and more secondary-aged children. Leeds is outperforming Manchester, Birmingham and Edinburgh as a base for growing businesses, according to a new report compiled by investor Sherry Cortu. Gwyneira Parry finds out more.
Leeds, a vibrant place to work and live. A report has been released today saying that the Leeds City region is outperforming other major cities, including Manchester and Edinburgh. With a total of 109,000 companies generating 5% of England's total economic output of 60.5 billion, the Leeds City region is an emerging global economic powerhouse. Simon Wilkes from Team Talk Media and Leeds Beckett graduate David Bauer talk about their new business that has taken off after the sudden closure of Sky Sports offices in Leeds.
I managed to win a contract to supply Premier League news alerts, so I discussed with Dave, would he like to take a bit of a leap of faith on a venture? So it literally started out with the two of us, didn't it, Dave? You were one of the freelancers early doors, and we were working from home, weren't we?
Yeah, it was slow at first. And that we did have doubts and we did have talks with each other, but I think what kept us apart was what kept it together. Was being around here, being very close to each other in terms of location. And just having everything around you in Leeds is really good in terms of a resource. And I think as a result, we've really kind of boomed because of that, and we've done really well because of that, just because of where we are. And I think it's a great place to work. It's very compact, you can do a lot of things, you can meet a lot of people, you can network really well.
It is clear that Leeds is a hub for new and successful businesses. But will this success continue? This has been Gwyn Parry for Leeds Hacks News.
McDonald's has sparked a row over spikes outside its Leeds Briggate branch. A petition to remove the spikes from the fast food restaurant has gathered more than 70,000 signatures after concerns were raised that it was aimed at deterring rough sleepers. Amy Robertson has the details.
An online petition has gained over 70,000 signatures after raising concerns that this Leeds city centre McDonald's is using spikes to deter homeless people from sleeping outside. The petition was set up by Isabella Di Martino, who says that the spikes show how little people care about the homeless.
I think it's a bit unfair really if that's the only place that they've got to sleep or sit, a bit of shelter. It is really unfair that they should be put there.
They're so popular, they shouldn't really stop people sitting outside. I mean, if I had a business there and like homeless people were sleeping outside, it'd obviously deter business, but then again, McDonald's is such a massive business that I can't really imagine they'll be suffering that much. But yeah,
but is it morally right or is it morally wrong? That's the thing, that's the question. You've got to ask that, because obviously it's just like, in terms of human rights, you know, if someone wants to sleep on the side, he's got nowhere to live, he's got no house or anything, so obviously he's got to find somewhere to stay.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea, because obviously like it's going to put people off. I think when like going for McDonald's and there's like people like stood around the area, it's not really
Do you think having a petition like this is good in getting people's opinions about it?
It's good at getting people's opinions, but it doesn't really, like, I don't think it's really that beneficial.
If you want to go in there and you're really hungry or you want something to drink, you're going to go in anyway, aren't you? To be fair, they always sit outside cash machines, but I'll still use cash machine.
If the spikes are there to stop homeless people from having a place to congregate, all it really does is move them onto somewhere else. And there are agencies throughout Leeds who work proactively with the homeless community to try and move them onto a better life, to engage with them, to try and put them into some kind of more sustainable living. And it would be good if all businesses would work together with these agencies and with the council to try and bring these people out of their vulnerable lives.
A spokeswoman for McDonald's said, The studs in question are not an anti-homeless measure as has been suggested. They have been in place for around 2 years and were introduced following discussions with the police in response to issues we were experiencing with antisocial behaviour. If the petition is successful, it is hoped that Leeds City Council and McDonald's will take action and remove the spikes. I'm Amy Robinson, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
And now for the first in our exclusive weekly series covering the run-up to the general election. Here's Elliot Ryder.
In the 2010 general election, only 44% of 18 to 24-year-olds turned out to vote. Coinciding with Leeds Central had one of the lowest turnouts across the country, with only 46% of people voting, you wouldn't be wrong to assume that political engagement in young people was at an all-time low. Do they care? Will it be a different story this time round? Let's find out.
Leeds has one of the highest student populations in the UK, with over 80,000 living here in the city. I spoke to a number of students to find out why they think it's important to vote in this year's general election.
It's quite important, isn't it? I think it's quite a big deal for everybody, really, no matter how old you are. You get a vote, you might as well use it. Whether it's going to make a difference or not is it's another question altogether, isn't it?
Well, I've been able to vote since I was 18. I've not once voted yet, and I think that this year it needs to be sorted out, really. Something needs to change.
I think by not voting, you're not in a position to not be happy with the outcome because you've not contributed to what it is.
Yeah, don't complain if you're not going to vote, really. I think that's about it.
It's about the future of our country. If no one voted, then nothing's going to be done.
I think it's important they vote all the time around. You've got to vote, you may as well use it.
I hope to influence the election in some way. I've registered to vote here because mine's a pretty safe seat in my hometown, but hopefully I can make a difference in Leeds.
It would appear that the majority of students will be voting in this year's general election. However, if turnout is to improve across the entire demographic, reaching out to those who aren't in full-time education may be the deciding factor. I'm Elliot Ryder, Leeds Hacks News.
Today marks the beginning of National Gardening Week. The event was launched 4 years ago by the Royal Horticultural Society and since then has bloomed into the country's biggest celebration of gardening. Holly Hill is with the Green Exchange at Leeds University to tell us more.
This week marks the 5th annual National Gardening Week. The event, which is run by the Royal Horticultural Society, has grown over the past 5 years to be the country's biggest celebration of gardening. This year, the RHS are launching their first ever National Open Garden event on Friday the 17th of April. They are asking that any gardeners who normally charge entry to open their doors for free this Friday to celebrate the National Day. The idea is to spread the wonder of gardens and gardening to as many people as possible. I'm here at the Sustainable Garden at Leeds University. I came to meet Caroline from the Green Exchange, and she told me how gardening can be achievable in the city and how to make the most of your small space.
Great, and it really works well within a city. Yeah. What we find is that if you garden quite intensively, and by intensively I mean you're putting a lot of nutrients into the soil and you're doing a lot of stuff by hand, so it's not bad for you're looking after the land, but in an intensive way, the yields can be really, really high.
Stillingfleet Lodge Gardens near York will be opening their gardens this Friday for free. Holly Hill reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Joining us now for the sport is Scott Anderson. Praying for some sunny weather tomorrow, Scott.
Me too, Liv.
Yeah.
Now, in football, Leeds United face an informed Norwich City at Ellen Road tomorrow evening and will look to bounce back from their disappointing 2-1 loss to Cardiff City at the weekend. Neil Redfern's side have lost 3 games in a row and are currently positioned 15th in the Championship table with 4 games remaining. Clubs in Leeds are currently preparing for the upcoming cricket season. Our reporter Charlie Baker caught up with one club ahead of the first game on Saturday.
The summer is fast approaching, and with it comes a brand new cricket season. Many cricket clubs in Leeds will have been preparing over the winter. I'm here with Henley Bramhope CC as they get outside for one of the first times of the summer. I interviewed Headingley's overseas player Sandeep Dutta on how the preparations have gone.
It's been going really well. We've been netting since October. It's nice to get a few nets outdoors because it just gives you the feel of the ground and how the wicket's going. All the lads here are very committed and we just feel ready and we're ready to go for the new season practically. The thing is that in the club, it's a very well-knit club, so over the winters when there's no cricket, everyone's still very socially active and everyone wants to meet each other, go out for a few drinks and have a nice time with each other. So all in all, this club, it's like it's one big family, if you know what I mean, and we've just been in contact all throughout the season, just getting ready for the new season. Hopefully, and if all goes well, we would like all 3 teams to get promoted this year and win their respective leagues.
So high ambitions.
Definitely.
With the season starting on Saturday, let's hope the weather stays bright so that our Leeds cricketers can get outside. I'm Charlie Baker, reporting from Bramhope for Leeds Hacks News.
Bowling!
I for one can't wait, Olivia.
Oh, me too, I love cricket.
Elsewhere in cricket, Yorkshire into the second day of the County Championship campaign at New Road in Worcester. They're currently 130 runs behind with 5 wickets remaining.
And finally, the weather. Mainly dry and cloudy at night with patchy rain which will soon die off. Tomorrow, dry and windy with sunny spells and highs of 16 degrees. Should be very warm and breezy. That's all from us here at Leeds Hacks TV. I'm Olivia Newby, thank you and good night.